Good morning, friends. It's been a while since I have picked up the camera to film a vlog, and you guys won't have noticed that because I've still been posting my vlogs every Friday, but I had been filming ahead. Andrew and I went away for a week, and so it has been, for me, about 2.5 weeks since I actually picked up the camera to vlog. So it feels good to be back. By the way, Andrew and I did have a wonderful time away. All the kids stayed with family, and him and I don't even think I said where we went. We went to Alberta for a week. So we were right in the southern Alberta, south of Calgary. We stayed down there. We went to the mountains. We did a ton of hikes and just good quality time together. I get home from trips like this and I'm like, oh my goodness, like right into the craziness again. And I'm like, I should have enjoyed being away more. And then I'm like, no, I did. I enjoyed it to the fullest. But it's just such a different pace. You're away and just not cooking meals, not homeschooling, not parenting, like everything is just, you feel like you have so much time in a day. And I get home and it's like, oh yes, homeschooling. And I have to make all of our meals every day. Nothing's prepared for me. Housekeeping, just all of the things, but it's good. It feels good to be here with the kids. Obviously, I love being home with my kids, but being away was a nice, special treat too. My outfit for today before I head down to go start school with the kiddos. Love this shirt. This is an airy top. I did somehow on accident, I don't think it was actually me, pretty sure it was Andrew, but it got stuck in the dryer last time I washed it. It's actually still a pretty good length, but I feel like it shrunk just like an inch or so because I love these tops just around the house. I don't usually wear leggings out and about, but around the house I love just a long shirt over leggings. And now skip ahead, 4 hours and I haven't filmed any of our school morning. Zara's over there peeling carrots because we're prepping lunch. If it's not quite at 6, that one is tricky. Some of these are hard, but that one's not quite at 6.
That's here.
Well, look, do you see how this long hand is almost all the way to the top? That means it's almost at 6. So what is it still?
It's 6.
Wesley, it's not 6. What is it? Tricky start, but write down 5 and then do your ... and then you'll add up what the minutes are. Awesome, awesome. I know sometimes people distract you, but you have to be able to resist it. Over here, we've got math. What's happening over here? This looks exciting. Okay, just finishing up pre-algebra. We're getting so close to the end of the school year. Are you so excited?
Yes.
We can't wait for summer, but we just have a bit of school to finish up still. And by the way, Charity's baby blanket she's making, she just has to finish the pink, right, Charity? And then it's done, it's complete.
I'm gonna do another white.
Pink and white, okay.
Make it longer.
Yeah, make it more of a rectangle, right? Because right now it's more of a square.
Well, I like square baby blankets, but you said that it was too short.
Is this situation working well? You two sitting beside each other doing math?
Yes.
For real?
I have done all the classes and all the way
to be honest, I haven't heard much craziness over here, so that's good. Elijah's finishing up his algebra lesson.
So hard.
Yes, this lesson today is taking quite a while.
Oh, it's taking me an hour.
I was gonna say tell me if you need help, but
Me?
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if I can help you. Algebra
it takes a long time.
This is why he does it on the computer, because I think it's above my expertise of teaching. I can teach it if I need to, but
well, it's not hard. It just takes a long time.
Yes, exactly. You are understanding it. It's just time consuming doing each question.
Yes.
Well, if you can't get through it, I mean, we're doing well heading up towards the end of the school year, right? You don't have much math left. So if you feel like you want to leave some of it for tomorrow, that's fine with me. It's all about you, right? It's all about you figuring out, okay, I have this much time left before summer, and how hard you work in order to get that done. How's it going? How's your math going?
Good.
Okay.
Look at it now.
Things have escalated over here. This whole Barbie stack is getting a little out of hand. What is happening? Okay, the multitasking, Charity, as long as math is actually getting completed.
Yes.
All right, Zara is the one who has to do math after lunch because she's helping me make lunch right now, right? Are all of the carrots peeled? Sometimes I get comments on my channel, people saying, oh, you're so organized. And I will admit that is something I do prioritize, is being organized. But at the same point, I'm like, how in the world could you homeschool 5 different grades and not be organized? I feel like I don't even have the option of not being organized, or our homeschool would just be a failure. That's how I feel. All the different things going on at once, each of the kids and their different levels. I feel like if I didn't have a routine and organization in place, we would just be a hot mess. And sometimes we are a hot mess, even with all of these things in place. So I feel like it's the only way, Okay, what am I checking here for you, sir? You got 340 and you got 1225. Awesome, awesome. You just forgot your ... in between the hour and the middle. That's called a colon. Yeah.
Sure, you didn't do anything.
Okay, awesome. And the page before is the one I already checked. Yes? Okay, you know what you're doing here. Let's skip these 2 pages. Hold on. These 2, and we'll skip right ahead to this one. We're going through the end of Wesley's math book pretty quickly because he started grade 2 math partway through the school year. We still have, let's see, hold on. There's the end right there. We have this many pages left. But I think we've got it. He's only doing about half the pages each lesson. And once I can tell he understands the concept, we move on because it just keeps reviewing and keeps reviewing. So he doesn't need to spend 8 pages just doing this stuff when he can figure it out in 3 or 4 pages. Okay, let's do this page. Feels like it's time for a second coffee here. Oh yes. Just one of those days where it's just after lunch and I feel like, you know what, I kind of want some more coffee. I have soup started in the slow cooker for supper. I have 2 lone asparaguses here sitting in my jar. So our asparagus is just getting ready. Are you guys saying what I said, asparaguses? I don't think that's really a word. What's the plural of asparagus? It is not asparagus.
I think it's just asparagus.
I think it's just asparagus too. Okay, so our asparagus are just starting to get ripe, but they're coming up, just a couple at a time. So I have 2 that I picked this morning, just letting them sit in water because then they'll stay fresh for a few days. And I know there were at least 3 or 4 that I think will be ready for me to pick tomorrow, and then we'll build up enough to have. What I actually often end up doing is just chopping it up and putting it in my scrambled eggs or something because it takes quite a while to build up enough asparagus harvest to feed us for a meal because most of the kids actually really enjoy it too, so we can eat quite a lot of asparagus. All right, I'll leave you be. I'm too distracting to you as you're supposed to be doing your dishes. Just gonna go sit with my coffee somewhere other than here. Charity is such a good worker. Charity is such a good worker. She works hard. She does well. She's thorough. She is not fast.
I'm really slow.
Not at all. So, do you want me to say how long it's been since we finished supper or since we finished lunch?
Half an hour.
It's 1:35 right now, half an hour. That's, I don't know. I feel like it's been at least 40 minutes.
I was doing tricks with Zara and helping her with our song that we're singing.
Yeah, well, very distracted, and then at least she's almost done school, so we're good in that way.
Alexa, what is the plural of asparagus?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. The plural of asparagus is asparagus.
Yay! This past week, I started thinking about and planning for what our next school year will look like. We're nearing the end of this school year, and so I need to be planning, prepping, purchasing curriculum for the next school year. And one thing about me is once I start thinking about it, I'm not gonna say I'm not a procrastinator. I can procrastinate like anybody. I can put things off. But then once I start it, kind of get my mind wrapped around starting it, I just go, 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 and I don't want to stop. So I was like, I'm just gonna casually start thinking about curriculum. Well, I wrote down a couple things that day, and then that night I spent like 2 or 3 hours on the computer just looking through everything and getting all these different ideas specifically for high school curriculum. Elijah will be in grade 10 next year. Don't shake the table because you're shaking the camera. And so I started it's just started taking over my mind. And so I have all these windows open on the laptop right now, and I called Elijah over because I have all of these ideas and I just wanted to go over it with him to see what he thinks, what he would like to be taking this next year. So some of the things we know, but then there were a couple different options I was looking at that looked interesting. So we're gonna just take a little bit of time to go over that today. Just took an ibuprofen because my head has been progressively getting worse through the day. I got up this morning and for some reason it was like partway through my workout that I noticed I was getting a little bit of a headache, and it just got worse and worse. And when it gets to the point where like my eyes start to water because of the pounding as I'm moving around, I'm like, okay, I give up. I'm taking an ibuprofen. I try to avoid it. I try to just hope it'll go away, but sometimes like today it's like, no, it's not happening. So we got most of our school stuff picked out, I think, for next year. High school, I think we have a good plan going on. There's a couple things I need to figure out, and then it's just figuring out where to order things from. So I'm going to the US next month to visit my sister. And so I figure I may as well order some curriculum to her because it can save so much shipping that way. And it depends. Our dollar is really poor right now. So if I look online and something is $60 US, it's probably about, I don't know, $95 Canadian or something. And sometimes our Canadian dollar is better, and something $60 US would only be $75 Canadian. So our dollar's poor right now. So what happens is I just look at all the different curriculum we want to get, and I just look, okay, here's the price if I was to buy that in Canada. Here's the price if I'm going to buy it in the States, because sometimes it still makes sense to buy it US. So for instance, Elijah's math, Denison math, we're really enjoying. He's definitely doing Denison math again next year. It's only available in the States, and it costs $70 to ship it to Canada. So last year I shipped it to a friend in the States. I'm gonna do the same this year to save that much money. But I have to just kind of go through each of our subjects and figure out where to buy them from, where to get the best price, what to order hard copies of, what to get digital copies of. So it's a bit of a process, but I'm feeling good that I have this much, at least down on paper at this point of the year. And then what else was I gonna say? I pulled out the camera thinking I'm just gonna talk about this. Yes, I remember. So it's like 2:30 right now. And just sitting down after like finishing school with the kids, finishing curriculum prep and all that. But this time of the year, I always say May is crazy. May and then the first half of June until we're done school is always crazy busy because we still have, our regular stuff, homeschool, regular daily tasks. But then we also have all of our summer sports starting up. So every weekday evening we have activities. So today, for instance, we have to leave the house at 4:45, and then we won't be home until probably 8:30. And we're coming into the season. I'm like, yeah, I know the evenings are busy. That's fine. We just have every evening is busy. But then as we get into it and we start it, I'm like, wait a second, that's what makes it so crazy, is that it's not just the evening, it's the afternoon. I feel like I only have half of an afternoon, and then I'm prepping something that we can either eat on the go or eat a really early dinner at home. And so it just feels like my time to get anything done is so short. Like it's school in the morning with the kids, and then it's sports at dinner time, and sometimes Andrew takes over all of it and I get an evening at home by myself, which is really nice. But today we have swimming too, so it's like an early start. And anyway, I I just feel like my little window of sitting down and having a quiet moment in the afternoon is super, super small, but I'm gonna do that now before I get up and kind of get things ready for the later part of the day. I am just getting some sourdough English muffins made. This is something that is on my weekly rotation. Every week I am making a batch of English muffins because they are just so good. I just kind of get the rest of the oil there rubbed into my sourdough. And then once the oil has spread, I am ready to shape these. It does take a little bit of time. I do them on the stovetop rather than in the oven. But I can go and come back. I just know about what time I should be coming back. I don't have to be standing here over the stove for an extended period of time. But I take my dough and I just shape it. I make it nice and round and then just plop it on the pan like that, and they cook very low and slow. I make a double batch. How many does it make when I make a double batch? Let me think here. I do usually 3 and 4. It probably makes about 15, 16, something like that. So usually that's enough for a couple of meals. Some of the kids prefer sourdough bread. Some prefer sourdough English muffins. I like them each for different things. But I will say these sourdough English muffins are definitely a favorite of mine. So my first step here is just shaping them and putting them on the pan, and then they sit for about 10 minutes before I turn the temperature up a little bit. So while those are starting here, I'm gonna go and check the mailbox. A little walk down the street. It's actually a little ways down the street, so some days I really enjoy going for walks in the afternoon, but I often don't have time for it. Like today, I definitely don't have time for it. So, but I feel like when I walk to the mail, it's like just a short walk. Oh, what am I doing? I'm starting to shape another one. Nope, I've got all that I can do for now. Speaking of sourdough bread, I did start an artisan loaf here today too, and I wanted to show you because it's so perfectly round except for the bubbles. Look at all the bubbles. There's a bubble, there's a bubble. This whole side over here is a big old bubble. You can tell your sourdough is really happy and active when. Let's see how these are doing. Okay, not too bad. I am so glad because I went out, got the mail, and then when I came home, our neighbors came over and wanted to chat for a bit. They're an elderly couple, and so nothing's quick. I was just chatting with them and they're telling me stories and stuff, and I'm looking at my watch like, do I excuse myself and say I have to go inside to check on this, or do I just stay and chat? So I stayed and chatted for a while, but looks like we're all good. Do you guys want a little sneak peek at my curriculum list for next year? I'll take that as a yes. Here's what we're thinking so far. I think I'm just gonna do one more unit here. I was looking and remembered that they had an Alberta unit, and I thought that would be so fun. Of course, Andrew and I were just there, but we've all been there before too, so I might do that. We'll see. I want to get a little bit more of the kids' input there first. Elijah's list, I think, is done. This will be all of his subjects. Just working through the other kids' lists. They're not quite done. Family subjects. I still do need to look into some good read alouds for next year, as well as I usually do a couple of book outlet purchases where I buy a bunch of books for required reading. But feels so good to have all this on paper. Thank you for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed just seeing some of our day. I enjoy interacting with you guys down below in the comments. So I said that funny, down below in the comments. Sometimes I'm thinking ahead and I start mixing up my words. So let me know how you're doing and we can chat down there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday.